All right, so today we are going to be creating what is called the Virtual Fish Tank Scratch Project. This is a very simple project. We are doing a lot of the same coding for lots of individual characters on your screen. So when we are all done, this is what your project should look like. So the different components of our project is we have this background that is the fish tank background, and then we've got 3 fish, we've got an octopus and a starfish, and all of them are moving independently, and whenever they hit the border of the screen, like you can see, this guy right here is going to go up and hit the border. Once that purple fish hits the border, it bounces back down. And we'll just keep doing this until you tell it to stop. So I'm going to hit stop, and then let's go ahead and get programming. So you're going to start by logging into your Scratch account. And we're going to go to Create. Your page should load up. And we should start with the basic Scratch page that we get whenever we go to start any project. First thing we are going to do is we are going to title it Virtual Fish Tank. Next thing we are going to do is we are going to get rid of a few things on our screen. The first thing we're going to get rid of is this sprite because we don't need a cap in our fish tank. So I'm going to right click on that and click delete. And then I'm also going to get rid of this blank backdrop because we need to add the fish tank backdrop. Before we can delete that backdrop, however, we need to add a new one. So we are going to hover over the button that says choose backdrop from library. It will give us lots of options here, but we are going to scroll down until you see Underwater 3. Click Underwater 3, click OK, and it should show up. So now we've got 2 backdrops here, and I'm going to click on backdrop 1, and I'm going to delete it. So now we just have the 1 backdrop. Now that we have our backdrop ready to go, we're going to go ahead and add the sprites onto our project. Now, this project has 5 different sprites, and we're going to add them one at a time. So to add a sprite, we go to the New Sprite section, and we are going to click right here where Choose Sprite from Library. Now we're looking for some animal sprites, so the easiest way to do that is to go in under the Animal category. And then we are going to scroll down and start with the starfish. Click on the starfish, click OK. Starfish should then show up somewhere on your screen. You're going to click the I for info, or you can right click and do info. We need to change a couple of things about this character, this sprite. First thing we're going to do is change the name to Violet. So we're changing the names to colors. Second thing we need to do is we need to change the rotation, and you can drag it anywhere you want on the circle. We just want it at an angle so that it bounces off at an angle when it hits the wall. The third thing we want to do is we want to change the rotation style. We do not want it on curl. We want it on left to right. Once you're done with that, you hit back, and we're going to add a new sprite. Click Animals. Now we're going to add Fish 1. Click OK. We are going to rename Fish 1 to Purple. Again, we are going to change the direction. We are going to change rotation style to left, right, and then we are done with Fish 1, which is our purple. Add a new sprite. Sprite number 3 is going to be Fish number 2. Click OK. Click the I for info. We are renaming this one Yellow. Change the rotation style, or the direction, then the rotation style, then hit back, add a new sprite, go to Animals, we are clicking on Fish number 3, click OK. Click the I for info. We are naming this one spotted. Change the direction. Change the rotation style. And then hit back. And then our final one, we add a new sprite. Go to animals. We're looking for the octopus. Click OK. And then we're going to click on the I for info. We are going to rename it squid. We will change the direction, change the rotation style to left or right, and then hit back. So now we've got 5 sprites. What I want you to do next is we're going to drag them around and sort of spread them out a bit, because right now they are very jam-packed right in the middle. So I'm going to drag them just kind of around the screen a little bit just to space them out. Just going to click and drag and drop. Anywhere is fine. All right, so now that we have our sprites, we are ready to go. So what I want you to do is we're going to start programming some sound. We need those bubbles going on in the background since it's an aquarium. Those bubbles are not attached to any one of the sprites. Those bubbles, the code for them is actually going to be attached to the background. So we need to click on the background, and then we'll get ready to do some coding here. So first thing we're going to need to do is go under the events category. Every strip of code is going to start with the very same thing. That first thing that we need to do is we need to always drag over when green flag is clicked, because that is what starts every strip of code. So when the green flag is clicked, I want us to go under control. We are going to want the sound to repeat forever. So if we want the sound to repeat forever, we need to drag over the repeat block. So we're going to drag over this forever repeat and just snap it in right below. Now we need to add in the sound. So we're going to go over here to sound. And we want it to play a certain sound. So we're going to do play sound and drag that over, and it's going to fit right in between here. Because we want that sound to just play forever and ever and ever as long as the code is running. But we don't want it to play the sound pop. We want it to play a bubble sound. So you're going to click record. Now we're not actually going to record a sound. So I'm going to have you close out of that one and click the X to close out of that one. And then we're going to choose this one right here, choose new sound from library. You'll see all sorts of sounds here. We are going to choose bubbles, which sounds like this. Click it once and then click OK. Now it's just going to show it right here. What we want to do is click back over to scripts though, and now we have the ability to change that drop down to bubbles. So now let's test it out. What we should be able to do is click this green flag, and as soon as we click that green flag, we should hear the bubble sound. Well, normally we hear it. You should hear it on yours when it plays. What we wanted to do though is it is a 1 sound wave. Like it's only about 4 seconds long, and we want it to keep looping and repeating over and over again. So what we needed to do is we needed to actually wait just a couple of seconds after every time that it plays it. So we wanted to play the sound and then wait, and then play the sound and then wait, so that it has the opportunity to play that whole sound wave. So this sound wave is 4 seconds long, so I want you to click where it says 1 and change it to 4. And then what it should do is now when we play it, it should work. We should hit that green flag, and it's playing that 4 second long bubbles sound clip, and then it's waiting, and it's playing that 4 second long bubbles sound clip. So that is all the programming we need to do for the sound. The next programming we need to do is we need to program each one of these sprites. So I'm going to click on the violet sprite. And like all of our other codes, it needs to start with that green flag. We find that here under events, drag it over. So when green flag is clicked, then we are going to go back to repeat because we want it to keep doing that same action over and over again. So we'll have it repeat forever. And then we're going to go to motion because we want it to move. So under motion, we want it to move a certain number of steps. So we will click move blank number of steps and drag that over. And then we are going to change this to actually move only one step. So if we did that, it would just keep moving. So you're going to watch that starfish. It's just moving. The only problem is when it gets to the edge of the wall, it's just going to stop. And then it's gone. That's as far as it can go. So what we need to do to make it bounce back the other way is we need to drag over if on edge, bounce. So then what we can do is once we hit the green flag now, it should bounce and change direction. That's how you know it worked. So we're going to use that same strip of code for all of the other fish. And what you're going to do is you have a backpack down here of scripts that you can save. I want you to drag this all the way down and drop it down there so that it's in our backpack. Then click over to the purple sprite. You see there's nothing here because there's no motion coded for the purple sprite yet. And then in our backpack, click and drag that piece of code back up and drop it there. So drop it onto our stage. Now for the purple fish, we want the purple fish to move a little bit faster. So instead of one step, we will choose two. Then go over to the yellow fish. Do the same thing. Click from your backpack, drag and drop. Our yellow fish, will move one step. We want it to move the same speed. The spotted fish, we're going to drag that piece of code back up again. We're going to have the spotted fish move a little bit quicker. That will move 2 steps. And then our squid, drag that piece of code up. Squid's going to move a lot slower, so it's only going to move a half step. Now all of our fish are coded at this point, so we are done coding our project. And what we can do is click that maximize button up in the corner right there. So it goes full screen and hit the green flag. And then you can watch your fish bounce around in the virtual fish tank. As long as your code works, all 5 sprites should be moving at the same time and they should all bounce off the edge of the screen when they hit the wall. Hit the stop sign to stop. Let's minimize this. So now I want you to click on the share button. This is how you're going to turn it in. Click share. So now it's public. And then go to see projects page if you do not get bumped here automatically. This URL right here across the top is what you need to copy and paste into OnCampus so that I can see your project when you turn it in. And that's it. Once you finish that and your project is named, you are all set and you are done making your first Scratch project.